Martin Hall here for Foresight Sports, joined by Rick Cuellar. I think I pronounced that correctly. I hope I did.
That's right, Martin.
Yeah, we're talking about the GC2+HMT technology and how I use it for various students. Tell me a little bit about your golf, Rick. Handicap would be?
Handicap's a 10 right now.
Okay.
I played to a 5 for about 25 years, but only play a handful of times these days. So not as much as I'd like, but I'm closer to a 10 these days. Okay,
well let me see a few practice swings first, and then I want to see you hit some. Then I want to gather some information and see what the technology thinks would be a very good thing for us to do. Of course, the GC2+HMT, it tells us what's going on at impact. It doesn't necessarily tell us why, and that's my job. I can certainly see something there I want to work on, but go ahead and hit one here for me if you would, please. As always, I want to look at shots in a collection of shots. So that one was off to the left a little bit. Let's just let the machine process, and as it just about always does, it got the ball flight just about spot on for what happened. Always pleased with that. That one started 3.2 degrees left of target. Path was 0.4 into out, but the face was closed. 1.8 degrees closed to the path of the swing, so that ball is going to go to the left. Let's hit a couple more. Would you say left is your enemy?
It is. That's my miss.
Would you like me to stop that?
Absolutely.
Okay, my pleasure. We'll try. You've put me on the spot now, we'll see.
Not so good there.
Well, it's all right.
Very similar though. It gives you something to work on.
Well, it certainly does, and I think we have to look at shots in clusters, not ones, patterns, not incidents. You know, sometimes golfers say I'm not very consistent. Fairly consistent, in fact, there. That path was 0.6 out to in, face was closed, side spin, a lot of side spin, 16,494, so a lot of side spin there. That one's off to the left. I want you to hit me just one more there, one more, and let's see what we've got. And then I'm going to have a suggestion. So the pattern emerging, normally I would have you hit more than 3 or 4 shots, but you know, because we're taping, it'll be 3 or 4. Normally it would be about 10 shots, and I'll sort of collect information and then try and make some change. But it tells us what we need to be changing. Yep. So go ahead and hit one more for me, please, Rick. Now that one was much better. You managed to sort of get that one just about right. You pulled the white rabbit out the hat just about the bottom is how I would call that one. But it still had a bit too much spin to the left. And you can see your distribution there. If I go back one, your distribution here, looking at what I call the overhead, the distribution is definitely a left bias. And my finding is if you do it with 3, that'll probably be your pattern with 23. Mm-hmm. So the task at hand here, let's have a look. The task at hand here is to stop that ball going to the left so much. I'm just going to have a look at it's only 3, but your side angle, your average is 2 degrees left. I like looking at the figures here, not the combined figures, the table we're looking at here. Your average is 2.0 degrees left, and you have a side spin of 1240 to the left. So my job as a teacher would be, actually, I would set myself a target of starting the ball a little bit more to the right of your target, with probably a little less side spin. So that's my target. That's my white rabbit I want to pull out the hat. Now how am I going to get you to do that? Well, let's trade places for a minute. I want you to stand here. So as I watch you, things that are very definitely going to affect that club coming from out to in and the club face closed. There's 2 things in particular that I think we could do, and we'll see if it changes them. One of the things I enjoy with the Foresight, Rick, is it puts every decision I make as a teacher, it puts it on trial. Yep. You know, did I do something that's moving you in the right direction or didn't I? I want this ball to start a bit more to the right and have less spin to the left. So your weight's a bit too much on your toes at address, Rick, and I think that does influence people to come out to in. So and your hands are a bit low, so you're very sort of toey. in your weight distribution. So I'd want you to get the weight under your shoelaces. People talk about getting the weight on the balls of your feet. I don't really like that. I think it should be under your shoelaces there. So Rick, as you go back, your right arm stays above the left too long, too much in the backswing, and then you cross the line. And I think that plus on your toes gives you that path that comes out to end. So definitely going to have you lift the toes, and as you swing back, I want you to feel that your left arm, the glove hand, the left arm goes over the right a bit more. Now that club head's going to feel a bit lower to you, and I want to see if we can bring it from down there. And we'll see if I'm doing the right thing, because we'll see what the numbers tell us. So take your setup for me, please. We'll have a couple of practice swings first. We're always going to do that. I want you to be able to wiggle your toes, get the hands a little bit higher. That's going to feel a little different. It should do. Sometimes people say that doesn't feel comfortable. I say, well, that could be a good thing. Now, as you swing back, your left hand, your left arm, I want you to see if you can get your left arm to feel that it goes over your right. Now, would that feel somewhat different or hideously different?
Yeah, it feels pretty different.
Pretty different. So I want you to feel that your left arm goes over your right. Okay, let's go back to the setup. And so what I would probably do as a practice swing is I'd just put that club in like it's a crowbar. As you're going back, I want the left arm to feel it goes over the right. So the left arm's going to feel higher, the right arm's going to feel lower. Now as you come down, you can move your weight a bit, let your weight go to your front foot a bit more, but can you feel how much more the right arm is under the left there? Now all this because I don't want your ball to start left. I don't want it to spin too much. So let's have a practice swing. Let's get the toes up in the air a little bit so it feels, hands up. Now it's left arm over right and then swing down. That was actually pretty good. Left arm over right. Good. Shall we risk it?
Yeah.
Let's risk it. Left arm over right. You won't over exaggerate it, so let's give it a go. Left arm over right. That was much better. Now it started a little left, just a little left, but it didn't have any spin to the left, and you can see on the screen there it went much straighter. Now I'm not trying to be a a magician and suddenly I can just wave the magic dust on you. It takes time, but you can see that ball started 1.9 degrees left and basically had no spin on at all. Let's hit another one. And so, as I said, certainly what we can see here is we can really see if you're doing things that are influencing you for the better.
Yep.
I mean,
based on the data captured by the system.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I mean, I like to get a good assessment of where a student is, and then I want to paint a picture of where I want to take you, and we can see, are you heading in that direction? You won't make some quantum leap. You can't jump tall buildings like a superhero, but put your club behind the ball. So wiggling the toes, and I want you to feel that the left arm is going to be over the right, and when you come down I actually want you to feel that club head is a bit more behind you. Can you feel how that club head's a bit more behind you?
Yep.
And let me remind you why I want you to do that. I do not want your golf ball starting to the left. I take a lot of notice of the side spin, I take a lot of notice of the back spin, a lot of notice of where you hit it on the face, but I take a tremendous amount of notice about the start direction of the ball. So let's see if we can go left arm over right, wiggle those toes, left arm over right, keep that club behind you coming down. Very well hit, you got that one right out of the middle, not bad at all, probably got the face a little bit shut there, but that was clearly a lot better. Let's see what the path was. That started 2 degrees left, so not terrible. I'd like to get one more and start it out to the right. Just had a bit too much spin axis, but right out of the middle, you can see that right smack bang out of the middle there. I want you to have one more for me, because I just want to see if we can get that ball starting right. Just put your club behind the ball. So that club is a little closed when you hit the ball. So wiggling the toes, taking it up here like here, club head will feel sort of behind you. I want, as you come down, I want that club head to feel behind you. You're probably going to feel as if the club is angled off to the right here. I'd actually want you to feel that you're hitting it out to the right more. And see if we can actually get that path number perhaps a little to the right. You've got see my little direction pole here. Let's see if you can start it to the right of that. That was so much better. And you see, so for me, that stayed a bit right, but that would be a good change. So I can prove to you with the information, the start direction of that ball was much better. I mean, that actually started 7 degrees to the right, perhaps a bit too much, but that's all part of learning. But we changed that start direction. I have to stop this, because when you started, this is wonderful, when you started, your path was 1 to 2 degrees out to in, to the left. Now we can see it's 5.3 degrees in to out. And that's so much what I do like about this technology, that it really lets us know what the club is doing. John Jacobs always said to me, golf is what the ball does, and what the ball does is basically how the club meets the ball. So it's by far the best piece of equipment I've ever seen. And you can see that if you were to keep tippy-toeing down that road, you're going to improve your golf game.
Yep. So the GC2 and HMT provides you imagery and data to allow you to distinguish subtle changes in the delivery of the club, impact location, and that helps you to better instruct students from the use of the technology.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
Without a doubt. The other thing that it does as well is I think it lets students see how I'm thinking.
Yep.
You know, it gives you a little, you know, you get inside my head, which might be a scary thing to do, but anyway, but you do. So, I mean, I love it. You can see there we changed that path from a couple of degrees out to in, and this last one was 5.3 degrees in to out, and that was done just shortly. None of this is edited or tricked up. It's just the improvement is significant, it's quick. If anybody wants to get better, you have to have accurate feedback. I don't think you can get any better than this.